Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders 2025 campaign has been a roller coaster that few fans could have predicted, and not in a good way. Coming off a surprising and electrifying run to the NFC Championship game during Jaden Daniels' rookie season, the team had high hopes for continued growth, stability, and competitiveness. Fast forward to the present, however, and those hopes have been shattered by a series of unfortunate injuries, inconsistent play, and strategic missteps, leaving Washington in a precarious position at 4 wins and 10 losses. Just a single spot above the league's basement. Expectations were high, with fans dreaming of building on the momentum from the previous season, but the narrative quickly changed as injuries began to pile up, particularly on the young quarterback, whose development is supposed to be the cornerstone of the franchise's future. Jaden Daniels, who entered the NFL with high expectations after an impressive college career and being selected as a top draft pick, has endured a season that has tested both his physical durability and mental toughness. The most recent setback came when Daniels was ruled out of the Week 15 matchup against the New York Giants due to an elbow injury, marking yet another chapter in a troubling pattern of health issues with playoff hopes effectively extinguished. Discussions surrounding the best path forward for the young signal caller have intensified, and voices from across the football community have begun weighing in. None more impactful than Robert Griffin III, a former Washington quarterback who knows all too well the perilous nature of injuries in shaping a player's career trajectory. Griffin, who himself endured a career marked by brilliance, promise, and repeated physical setbacks, did not mince words when addressing Daniels' current predicament. Speaking with clarity and conviction, Griffin unequivocally recommended that the Commanders prioritize the long-term health and future of their young quarterback. The Washington Commanders should 100% shut down Jaden Daniels for the rest of the season, Griffin stated. According to RG.org, his comments carry substantial weight, not only because of his past success and personal experience with injuries, but also because he shares a unique parallel with Daniels. Both were Heisman Trophy winners. Both were drafted second overall, and both entered Washington with the hopes and expectations of leading a franchise into sustained success. Griffin's argument is as much about protecting the player as it is about safeguarding the franchise's future, and it resonates in the context of Daniels' turbulent season. Griffin's statement did not arrive in a vacuum. It followed a season in which Daniels' health struggles have been impossible to ignore. After suffering a dislocated elbow in Week 9, the young quarterback returned to action against the Minnesota Vikings, only to re-aggravate the same injury after landing awkwardly, reigniting criticism about the team's decision-making. Regarding player health, Griffin emphasized the cumulative effect of Daniels' injuries, pointing out the sequence of setbacks that include knee issues, hamstring strains, and multiple elbow injuries. It's a knee injury, it's the hamstring injury, then it's the elbow, and it's the re-injuring of the elbow, Griffin noted, highlighting the compounding risk of playing through such conditions. His message is clear: the immediate desire to remain competitive cannot outweigh the importance of preserving a young quarterback's long-term potential, particularly when there is little left to gain in a lost season. The debate over whether to play Daniels or shut him down reflects a broader challenge. For the Commanders' leadership and medical staff, injuries have a ripple effect, not only on the individual player, but also on team dynamics, roster strategy, and organizational decision-making. Fans and analysts alike have criticized the timing of Daniels' return from the initial elbow dislocation, questioning whether Washington's urgency to remain competitive in the short term was worth jeopardizing the quarterback's long-term development. From Griffin's perspective, this is a familiar story. Talented players with immense potential can have their careers derailed by premature returns from injury, compounded by an unforgiving schedule and the inherent physicality of the NFL. Griffin's warning is rooted in experience and a clear understanding of the risks involved, both to the player and to the franchise tasked with nurturing a future star. Looking at Daniels' 2025 campaign as a whole, the season has been a series of starts and stops, marked by resilience in the face of adversity, but also by the cruel reality of physical limitations. The second-year quarterback has faced hamstring, knee, and elbow injuries, missing multiple games and frequently dealing with lingering discomfort and limited mobility. Each comeback seemed to offer hope, only for another setback to reaffirm the precariousness of his situation. Griffin's call for a shutdown is not just about avoiding a single injury. It is about preventing a pattern that could compromise Daniels' career for years to come. By advocating for a cautious approach, Griffin underscores the importance of protecting the quarterback while allowing the franchise the opportunity to evaluate roster upgrades, offensive line adjustments, and the surrounding talent necessary to support a healthy, thriving signal caller. Beyond the individual implications for Daniels, Griffin's comments highlight a crucial crossroads for the Commanders as a franchise, with playoff contention already out of reach. The team faces a decision between pursuing short-term pride in the standings and safeguarding the future viability of its most important asset. Washington must weigh the benefits of demonstrating competitiveness in remaining games against the risks of further injury to a young quarterback whose potential could define the next decade of the franchise. Griffin's advice is rooted in prudence, reflecting a philosophy that prioritizes sustainable success over fleeting glory, and it challenges both fans and executives to reconsider the value of patience, long-term planning, and a player-first approach. In the end, Griffin's declaration that Washington should 100% shut down Daniels for the remainder of the season resonates as both cautionary and prescriptive. It serves as a reminder that even in a league obsessed with immediate results, the careers of young quarterbacks cannot be treated as disposable commodities. Daniels' 2025 season, filled with promise, setbacks, and resilience, has become a case study in the perils of pushing through injuries and the necessity of strategic prudence as the Commanders evaluate their options. The overarching question remains, will the franchise prioritize the short-term spectacle of a few remaining games, or will it embrace the wisdom of protecting a cornerstone talent who could lead the team for years to come? Griffin's voice, informed by history and personal experience, makes the choice clear, and it is a directive that Washington would be wise to heed as it navigates the turbulent remainder of a challenging season. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. A storm seems to be brewing in the world of professional football, and it's the kind of scandal that could shake an entire franchise to its core. Rumors began circulating after what sources are calling a leaked audio that has everyone in the league talking. In this audio, Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Commanders, allegedly makes remarks that have left fans, players, and analysts alike stunned. The content of the recording is incendiary, according to those who have heard it. Quinn refers to his own roster in terms that no professional coach should ever use publicly. Words like amateurs and unprepared were reportedly thrown around, alongside an admission that he accepted the head coaching position not out of passion or commitment to the team, but simply for the paycheck. Naturally, this revelation has ignited a firestorm across social media platforms, sports talk shows, and even casual fan groups. The idea that a head coach of a storied franchise might be motivated primarily by financial gain, rather than loyalty or the pursuit of excellence, is almost unthinkable. And yet, here we are, grappling with the possibility that this could be the reality. The implications of such statements are enormous, not just for the locker room atmosphere, but for the public image of the Commanders organization as a whole. Fans have invested emotionally in this team for decades, enduring highs and lows, supporting through bad seasons, and hoping for leadership that would inspire players to rise above challenges. To imagine that the very person tasked with guiding and motivating these athletes might secretly view them as amateurs is a betrayal of the most basic trust a coach has with their team. Analysts are speculating whether this leak is authentic or whether it has been manipulated, but the tone of the audio, according to multiple insiders, seems unmistakably consistent with Quinn's known speaking style. While Quinn has built a respectable career in the NFL, with successes that include playoff appearances and stints with high-profile teams, this revelation threatens to overshadow any prior accomplishments. The leak has sparked questions about what, if anything, goes on behind closed doors in professional sports, and how often players are really being led by coaches who share their vision and commitment to winning. Inside the Commanders' facilities, sources suggest that tension is palpable. Players are reportedly shocked and dismayed, feeling that a core element of respect and mutual ambition has been compromised. Some players have remained silent, unwilling to confirm or deny the contents of the recording, perhaps wary of making public statements that could exacerbate an already volatile situation. Others, however, are said to be discussing possible meetings with management to address the fallout. Team executives are now faced with an uncomfortable dilemma: how to respond in a way that preserves the integrity of the franchise, while addressing what could be a massive morale problem. Historically, franchises have handled such scandals in various ways, from quiet internal resolutions to public statements and disciplinary action. In this case, the Commanders are under intense scrutiny, and any misstep could amplify fan outrage and media speculation. Meanwhile, the media landscape is exploding with coverage. Sports channels are analyzing every nuance of the leaked audio, replaying quotes and dissecting what each word could mean for the team's immediate future. Commentators are asking tough questions. How can a coach inspire a roster he allegedly considers incompetent? What does this mean for the relationships between veteran players and young talent? Could this leak affect player retention, draft strategies, or even upcoming trades? Social media platforms are littered with reactions ranging from outrage to disbelief, with fans sharing memes, videos, and commentaries that often blur the line between humor and genuine anger. The rumor mill is in full swing, with some suggesting that Quinn might face termination, while others argue that the team's management could double down and publicly support him in an attempt to minimize disruption. The truth, it seems, is being drowned in speculation, but the intensity of the reaction is undeniable. The historical context of coaching controversies in professional football adds another layer to this story. While it is not unprecedented for coaches to express frustration or disappointment with their players in private, very few cases have been made public in such a dramatic and unfiltered way. The potential ramifications are multifaceted: trust issues within the team, questioning of leadership credibility, and a wave of media narratives that could follow the franchise for months or even years. Fans are particularly sensitive to anything that could undermine their team's chances, and the mere suggestion that the coach may be motivated primarily by financial gain strikes a deep nerve. Loyalty, commitment, and the shared goal of victory are cornerstones of any team's culture, and hearing that these values might be secondary for the person at the helm is jarring, to say the least. The scandal also raises questions about hiring practices in the league. How much weight is given to financial considerations versus character, leadership, and fit with team culture? If Quinn did indeed prioritize money over alignment with team values, it could trigger wider debates about ethics, recruitment, and accountability at the highest levels of professional football. Fans, of course, are not taking this lightly. Online forums are full of heated debates, with some calling for immediate action against Quinn, while others caution against jumping to conclusions based on a single piece of leaked audio. The split in opinion reflects a broader cultural phenomenon in sports fandom, where loyalty to the team must be balanced against disappointment in leadership. Merchandising, sales, ticket demand, and public perception are all subtly influenced by such controversies, meaning the financial impact of a scandal like this extends far beyond locker room tension. Some commentators are even predicting long-term consequences: a damaged brand image, potential sponsor withdrawals, and difficulty in attracting free agents who want to play for a coach whose commitment is questioned. The leak has made it impossible for anyone to ignore the narrative, and every interview, press conference, or public appearance by Quinn or the Commanders' front office will now be interpreted through the lens of this controversy. Industry insiders are speculating on Quinn's next move, if any. In response to the leak, will there be a formal apology, a press statement denying the context, or perhaps even a strategic silence? Each option carries risks. An apology could be seen as an admission of guilt, further alienating players and fans alike. A denial, if disproven or contradicted by further evidence, could erode credibility irreparably. Silence, while tempting for some, risks creating a vacuum that will be filled with even more rumors and speculation. Every decision in the coming days could have outsized consequences for the trajectory of both Quinn's career and the Commanders' future as a competitive franchise. What adds fuel to the fire is the timing of the leak, which comes amidst a period of heightened attention on the league, with analysts already focused on team strategies, draft prospects, and performance metrics. Now, all eyes are on Quinn, and every statement, tweet, or interview will be analyzed with almost surgical precision. The story has the elements of a drama that transcends the sport itself: ambition, money, loyalty, betrayal, and reputation. It resonates with fans because it touches on universal themes, but within the specific context of professional football, the stakes are extraordinarily high. If the leak is true, it paints a picture of a coach disconnected from the core values of his team, motivated not by passion but by compensation if false. It highlights how quickly a rumor can spread and potentially damage reputations in a digital age, where audio and video can be manipulated and circulated instantaneously. Either way, the buzz surrounding Dan Quinn and the Commanders is unlikely to fade anytime soon. The league, the media, and most importantly, the fans are waiting for clarity. But the suspense and speculation are now part of the narrative, shaping opinions and conversations in real time as this situation unfolds. It will be fascinating to see how both Quinn and the Commanders respond. Will they weather the storm, repair trust, and redirect focus to the field? Or will this leak mark the beginning of a crisis that redefines the season and perhaps the tenure of a coach who once held promise every angle, from player reactions to management decisions and public perception, will be scrutinized? Sports fans thrive on drama, and this situation has all the makings of a saga that could be remembered for years. In the meantime, the rumor continues to spread, conversations are intensifying, and the story of Dan Quinn, the leaked audio, and the Commanders' locker room has become one of the hottest topics in football. The kind that makes you lean in, question what you know, and wonder what comes next. The tension is palpable, the stakes are enormous, and the narrative is still being written one leaked word at a time. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.